gals, welcome back to No Such Radio in the evening. Have you ever had one of those naps, like midday naps, when it's so good, you're having maybe like a strange and vivid dream where just everything in it seems so surreal, but it's occupying your brain, and so you're just fully invested in it? Like, no suspension of disbelief, it's just completely, you're there. Like, that's where you are. It's your life, and at that moment, that is your life, and you're living it. And then all of a sudden, you just fucking snap awake. What the fuck? And everything seems alien as fuck. Like, very normal shit that the routines, the boring trials and tribulations you run through every day suddenly seem like they're completely new. Like you were dropped back into the wrong fucking life. And you're there. You're suddenly back in a fucking place where you know you've been for years, but it's just like it was in that dream. Just strange and surreal, and it takes you a moment to get adjusted, and then you're back. Back to life. Back to reality. Well, that's what I just did. Got home from got off work, got home from taking the kids, back from school. Decided I was gonna lay down for like an hour, and I overslept through whatever alarm I had set, and then just snapped like fucking crazy. It was like 7 o'clock suddenly, and still light outside, which is unusual, because that's about the time when the sun's setting, but it was still a little bit bright, and it had seemed like it was gonna be rainy, so I decided to skip going out with the punching bag, but it wasn't. It wasn't rainy. It was a little bit bright out. Strangest thing. Super strange. Needs more sugar. So that's what I was doing. What about you guys? Was it a lovely, lovely Monday? Did you make it through? Did you fucking make it through this terrible plight that we collectively call the Monday? The Mondays. Anywho, before I get any further, I want to go ahead and do my two little shout-outs. I got Barbara Simmons and Jasmine Wayand for following us on Soundcloud, which is lovely. Pleased to have you around, guys. Be sure to drop a comment and like all the stuff, since you're listening to it and you're following and you're subscribing. Just go ahead and okay, we're moving on. I don't want to sound too desperate. Thank you so much, though. Oh, the most wonderful thing happened a couple days ago. Finally jumped through all the hoops and hurdles in life and had a few things dropped off of my credit report, and as it turns out, unlike the average American, that was all I had, was just a few things on the credit report. So now I'm back to no credit, which they say is worse than bad credit. However, I disagree. My credit was not good, not even fair. So now I'm back down to the 3 dashes, dash, dash, dash. It's like being born again as a 17-year-old. People are just throwing credit cards at me. And so, I did, obviously, the responsible thing, which was go ahead and take one of those credit cards. Hopefully this time I won't fuck it up. It's like hitting the reset button. Maybe one day, a couple years from now, with a decent credit score, I can take out a loan, get a house, get a car that's from this century. God only knows. It's like pursuing the American dream once again. I'm feeling very strange today. That dream, it really shook me. I just got up and looked around like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on here? I felt like if Quantum Leap was like a narcoleptic. You just, what? Who are you? The kid's looking at me retarded. I'm good. So yeah, credit score's back down to no credit. I'm gonna work that shit back up. We're gonna do it right this time. That's what I say every time. Every time that I quit, I'm gonna quit smoking. We're gonna do it right this time. But we'll see what happens. Super excited for the possibilities, though. Me and the family are going on vacation soon. Summer break's coming up. Is everyone excited for that shit? I know, finally, for the first time in 7 years since I've had kids, or kid. Kids. 7 years. Finally excited for summer break once again, because I actually have vacation hours that I'm going to use to go on vacation. School's out, motherfuckers! So that's gonna be fucking grand. Goddamn dandy. Probably just going back to Georgia to see all the family that we left behind. But anything is good for a change of pace. Because I tell you what, too many days of this in a row, and I can see why people fall into depressions, if you know what I mean. It's like a seasonal depression, because it's not like clinical or anything. I probably don't need a prescription, but definitely gotta just, when you wake up in the morning, stare at the ceiling for a solid 10 minutes before you can get up, if you know what I mean. And I'm not talking about sleep paralysis, as far as I know. I'm waiting on the wife to get back home, who's had strep throat. If you remember, I think I mentioned it in the last podcast. She had strep throat. Let me tell you the story of what happened. So she was sick, and we thought it was strep throat, and it wasn't. She got worse, so we went to the doctor, and the doctor took one look and was like, "Oh, yeah, that's fucking strep throat." So they gave her a shot in the ass and sent her on her merry little way with a doctor's note that said 24 hours. Then after 24 hours, she had her missed work that day, had her off day. The next day, her throat was worse. And we thought it was strange that they didn't send her out with a prescription like a Z-Pack or anything like that. And guess what? It was fucking weird, because when she finally went back 2 days later saying, "Oh, my throat's getting worse," they were like, "Did you take the prescription that we gave you?" And she's just, "You didn't give us any fucking prescriptions." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we did. No, we did. We gave you prescriptions. There were antibiotics you needed to take to get rid of your strep throat." And so they after a bit of arguing, I'm guessing, I wasn't there for the second part, got the prescription and started taking that. So that's all gravy and whatnot. But they didn't give her a doctor's excuse for the second day so that she could miss work again without being discriminated against at her shitty fucking job. She went back up there to get the doctor's. "Hey, I was in here yesterday. Could you guys write me a doctor's note for 24 hours so I can go back to work and not get in trouble?" And they were like, "Oh, this bitch again. Okay, I see you, motherfucker. Here's your fucking doctor's note." And they put her out till the 12th of the month, which is, if you're counting, I think 5 days, which is a work week. And now, not this check, but on the next check, we're gonna be fucking not broke, but there are ramen noodles in our future. That's happening now. Thanks a bunch, healthcare system. Really fucking helpful. So rather than stay at home and be all sick, since she was feeling a little bit better anyways, she's out with her friend who is getting a tattoo today. Talk about playing hooky. I mean, I just need that vacation. Just a week. Just a week. Please, God. Please. Please, God. Did you know that toothpaste is basically just as effective as brushing your teeth with sand would be? Like, the reason that toothpaste is effective at cleaning your teeth, as far as we can tell, I mean, it's not even everything is 100% agreed upon by dentists and science and lab coats, but the reason is because it's tiny little granules that you take the brush and just scrubs against your teeth like, nothing cleans the paint off of wood like some sandpaper, right? And then you got some fucking peroxide and fluoride in there to make it bubble up and lather so that you know it's working, right? I mean, it's all for show. It doesn't do anything, apparently. The peroxide and the lather part is just there to make you feel better about yourself, while fluoride is apparently supposed to help strengthen the enamel that you still have. And that's, I think, even debated upon. But basically, you could walk outside, dip your fucking toothbrush in between the cracks in your goddamn driveway and just start getting your teeth like that, and it could, some people say, be just as effective. Wouldn't that be interesting? I think toothbrushes used to be made out of fucking horsehair or some shit like that. Who really knows? I don't know. I probably pulled that right out of my ass, if I'm being honest. But that sounds like they use horsehair for fucking everything else, right? Anything else that was of that nature. Brushes and fucking violin bows. That's horsehair. Even now in 2017, you'd think we would have moved to some kind of nylon or vinyl option, but nope, still horsehair. You still gotta rub some ancient minerals on it to make it work, called rosin. That's what I learned when I tried to start playing violin. I figured, hey, I'm good at stringed instruments. I can play guitar. I can play a bass. So a violin, it can't be that far off. Wrong, motherfucker. There's a reason Beethoven and all them old-ass motherfuckers played that shit. It's like it is an art. It's like completely different. I mean, you get your finger placement in there, but it changes as it goes down. It's completely different. I just can't even... I could describe it, but I don't feel like it. But the rosin part, you take this stuff that's kind of like amber, except softer, like maybe like some honey or something you left out for days, and got super hard, almost like a rock, and you're rubbing that on the bow, which is made of horsehair, and that helps produce the sound from the strings, the friction, the vibration of the strings, and that's how you get the sound out of a violin, basically. You guys learned something today. How about that? Okay, I was not into it for a second there. I think I'm back now. A couple sips of coffee at 9 o'clock at night, and I'm officially an adult. Funny thing is, I can drink, I can slam two Red Bulls and then chug a coffee, take a shot of espresso, and fall asleep in 15 minutes if I'm tired. And that's how that works. Super fucking strange. Actually, and I prefer taking caffeine before I go to bed because it produces some of the strangest dreams I've ever had, such as the one that I was having earlier, where I think, if I remember correctly, and this was just a couple hours ago, but it was, like I said, so surreal. And I feel like even though I was only asleep for just over an hour, it seemed like the longest dream I ever had, and I swear to God, it played through twice, which is so bizarre. It was like, I think, it was like back when I was, no, it wasn't back when I was single, okay, let's say that. Maybe I got divorced, maybe, who knows what happened, okay, but I was still my oldish fat self. I'm working on it, I'm cutting the gut back. And I think I met, like, a girl, I'm not even sure, it definitely wasn't at a club or a bar scene or anything, but I don't know, out somewhere where people mingle, and I think, I don't even know, somehow she was involved with, like, some loan sharks, or like maybe the mafia or something, and she she disappeared first off, but then I met the loan sharks, one of which was like somebody I knew, but I can't quite place, or maybe it just had the characteristics of somebody I knew, with like a blank face, and my mind just filled in the rest. It's really strange how that happens, right? You were in it, but I don't remember seeing your face, but I know you were in it. Definitely, right? No. It was my third grade teacher. No, it was you. And so I was like trying to escape loan sharks inside of this giant empty ass hotel lobby, like one of those big ones where they have conferences and seminars and shit, one of the nice ones where there's a cafe and all that, and just like doing it like the Scooby-Doo way, running in and out of doors and shit. And I remember very specifically, and this was what was so sad about it, because the amount of money that I somehow came into owing was like maybe $1,000. And that is super sad because my brain has gotten so used to being poor that that is a big number, and my subconscious even accepted it. Did that make sense? No? Well, fuck it. Moving on. Wait, why was I talking about that? Oh yeah, caffeine. Anyways, so yeah. I drink coffee late at night. I'll drink a Red Bull before I have a nap. Very fucking strange. You don't see Red Bull commercials about that. No fucking wings flying into bed or anything like that. Red Bull gives you wings. That's some bizarre shit. But yeah, it produces extremely bizarre dreams because it's a stimulant for your brain, right? It doesn't actually physically give you energy. It just sharpens your wits a bit, I think. It gets the juices flowing up there in your fucking noggin. But yeah, so yeah, that's something I do. Do y'all do that? Very strange. Maybe do. Maybe don't. I don't know. Somebody tell me. Somebody please. Next thing. I've been falling way out of routine with the fucking gym. So I'm trying to keep active at home and at work. Like when I go from place to place at work, I'll kind of keep a little brisk pace, almost like a jog or a fucking Olympic power walk or whatever the fuck that is. You know, where the women's are just rocking back and forth. Do those sound effects help illustrate what I was trying to convey there, or no? Okay, well, but you know what I'm talking about. That thing where it fucking looks like a cartoon character walking. Whoop, 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 whoop. With the extra hip movement and the way that the legs look like noodles. Very strange. So I do that, And I try to hit the punching bag every day. I got some dumbbells, and I'm swinging those things around, working on my triceps, doing some curls, working on the biceps. I went out to the park for a jog the other day, 30-minute jog, which was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. So I'm trying to get out more when I do my exercises, because the restricted movements on the cables just are not able to hit as many strange little muscle groups as free weights and like real life work do. So I've noticed that, and trying to move away from it, but I'm still gonna get in there on those big days to hit the biceps, triceps, and stuff like that. So summer's right around the corner. Wasps are coming back, hornets, all that fun shit. Fleas, if you got pets, that shit can be a pain. Definitely not interested in fleas. That's why I'm happy that my animals are they operate out of an indoors environment. So fantastic, my cat has not ever been outside since the day we rescued it. My dog just goes out to take a quick shit, and that's it. Anything else we've ever had is inside, and that's good. So I haven't really ever had to deal with fleas. But hornets and wasps, oh my god, my house was built, like I said in the last one, in like 1954 or 57. I want to say it's one of those strange numbers. And so therefore it's got a lot of flaws, or as a realtor would say, it's got a lot of character, right? But hornets get in there through whatever fucking hole, insects, rats, they just find a fucking way. If they want in, they're getting in. There's no way of stopping that shit. So we just keep bottles of bug spray in strategic areas of the house, but so that's partially my job at the house. And at work too. Apparently when the wasps come back, come back at work, that's going to be my job from now on, because every day when I come in, it's there's some hornets out there by the drive-through area, the second lane. Could you go out there and get those for me? Or Nick, it's some wasps out there by the receiving door, and I don't do it those. So you go back there, please. Shit like that. So I'm the exterminator in addition to the manager. Last year, me and my coworker Bailey were getting a whole shit ton of shelves, 16-inch shelves out of a shed that we have in the back, which is near the receiving door, that are all stacked up, and they just sit there for like a whole half a year before we get them back out again. So obviously they collect dust and debris, rat piss, rat shit, and wasps like to nest in there. So I lifted up a shelf, the fucking nest got rattled, and a whole shit ton of wasps just flew out. Shit was like, ugh, ridiculous. Like in The Mummy when Imhotep opens his mouth, oh, and all those fucking locusts or some shit come out. So yeah, looking forward to that. Whole lot of wasp spray. If I can't learn how to say wasp, I swear. It's not something that necessarily rolls off the tongue. Or maybe my mouth isn't properly lubricated. Yeah, looking forward to wasp season. Fantastic. What a fucking lovely job. I don't think there's a whole lot going on right now. So, yeah, that's about all I got. Waspers. Hornets. Holy shit, I've been recording for over 20 minutes. What the hell are we going to do about that? Good thing about this, though, is that so I can keep those most recent episodes on SoundCloud. And now since I've got them archived on YouTube, which has no limits, and I'm actually getting more views, somehow, against my advisement, I can make these a little bit longer, if that's something you guys are interested in. If not, I keep them to around, I think 16 minutes almost every time, perfectly. Except the last one was just a tad longer than I thought it was going to be. So anyways, what's going on today? You heard about this Pepsi ad? Me either. I don't have cable. I just have Netflix, which is actually my fucking account. I know everyone says, oh, well, nobody's got a Netflix account. You just use your brothers or your friends, right? Fucking rubes. No, I actually have a Netflix account, and I would appreciate it. I really take offense to that. I really do. So no, I haven't seen this Pepsi ad. I've seen several different like YouTube channels make fun of it, which is okay. I kind of get it. They're a little bit in their own world, right? But I'm hearing a lot about the United. It's a United ad or something, some big contender already for fuck up of 2017. Now, let's see what we got. 3 dead, 1 wounded after San Bernardino Elementary School shooting. That is bizarre. I feel like this is the second time I've heard this story, which I think it either San Bernardino. I swear there was a San Bernardino school shooting before. Is that fucking... Am I still dreaming? What the fuck is going on here? Police report that 2 adults and 1 8-year-old student are dead, and 1 9-year-old is in stable condition after an incident which is believed to be a murder-suicide. That's how they all end, of course. The shooter has been identified as Cedric Anderson, 53. Wow, this guy's a little bit old to be fucking making big life changes, big decisions like this. And every time I see something like this, I just assume that it's going to end up somehow being linked to ISIS. So we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, I probably won't. This is how I get my news, right here on the air with you guys. U.S. News: man forcibly removed from overbooked United Airlines flight. Video footage of a United Airlines passenger being forcibly removed from a Chicago flight headed to Louisville, Kentucky on Sunday surfaced online. The ordeal occurred after volunteers were asked to give up their seats to accommodate crew members in the overbooked flight. When no one offered, security was called in to handle the situation. The man was eventually allowed to return back to his seat. A flight from Chicago to Louisville, Kentucky. And and someone is surprised that this guy didn't go willingly. I mean, if he's flying home or flying from home, either way, he's probably likely to be a degenerate. I mean, if he lives in Chicago and he's flying to Kentucky, like what the fuck does that say about it? And then if he was already in Chicago on maybe like vacation or something and he's flying back to Kentucky, that's not any better. Now, I paid for this seat. It is not my fucking responsibility to count how many seats are on this goddamn airplane before I fucking get on it. This ain't no goddamn game of musical chairs. I paid my good American money. Or else, I mean, I don't know if he was from Chicago, just a regular dude, regular old dude, wearing a oversized jacket with a gun tucked in it. I don't know. When United reaccommodates you. Oh, more of this. Oh, nope, I don't want to watch videos. The fuck is your problem? What is going on with Ludacris's abs? Now see, this is where the real news is. I don't know what the fuck. The rapper released a new video for vitamin D. I bet that stands for dick. Up top. No? Nobody? Okay. And people couldn't help but notice that his torso looked a little off. But the picture I'm seeing here looks like a Snapchat filter for your tits. I'm not going to necessarily watch this video right now while I'm recording, but it definitely looks photoshopped. I can tell from the pixels and having seen quite a few of these in my time. Would you swim in a glass pool hovering 500 feet over the Texas streets? Absolutely not. That was easy. New York becomes first state to offer free college tuition. But there's a catch. New York will blah 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 blah. State public households making under a certain threshold will make college more accessible to da 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 da. But the difference only covers the difference if students have grants and other scholarships. Didn't go to college. Don't know a whole lot about that. Sorry guys. If you couldn't tell from listening to me this long, I don't have I didn't further my education. I'm kind of just babbling about shit that I read from articles. Airbnb bans host who canceled a reservation with racist remarks. Dine Su, who was headed to Big Bear, California with friends, claimed that the dispute started after she texted her Airbnb host to confirm the reservation was for 4 people instead of 2. Go ahead, it's why we have Trump. I will not allow this country to be told what to do by foreigners. Is that a racist remark? Oh, okay, she's, of Asian descent. Possibly a Pacific Islander. Jesus Christ. Well, that's the world we live in. I listened to a really long podcast about race today and how it pretty much was invented all by one person in order to make him and his colleagues feel better about taking people as slaves back in 1400s. So I wish if I can find the link to that, I'll somehow put it in the description for you. It was very, very interesting. But the podcast I was listening to was the Cracked podcast, which was released today on, what's today, the 10th? April 10th, 2017. So maybe you can dig it up that way. If not, sorry. Local news. Man suspected... Yeah, I don't care what goes on around here. The local news is that somebody down the street the other day got shot, and then a couple blocks down, someone got mugged in their driveway again. And last Christmas, I got mugged in my driveway. That's the local news. So I don't know what the fuck they're necessarily talking about. Anyways, looks like I'm gonna have to record the rest of this later. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Wife just got back. I didn't even want her to see me with the headset on recording because I'm just so, I don't know. I write songs and no one ever hears them. I draw shit and I fucking hide it away. I write stories and I encrypt them digitally and hide them in my laptop and shit. And I'm so, what the fuck? Self-conscious, about anything that I produce that's supposed to be creative in any sort of way. Not that this is necessarily creative, but I just and maybe that's something I'll never get over. I don't know how I managed to even put this shit out in the first place. I don't even tell anybody about it. That's probably part of the reason I don't get a whole lot of views and listens and shit. But like I said, it's experimental. It's for me, really. One thing I have learned from this so far is that 9 out of fucking 10 podcasts, I'm like sick. Like I'm coughing or got a cold or just don't feel well overall. And I think I'm seeing that less and less as I'm trying to improve my diet and get more exercise. So that's interesting when I go back and listen to these. Anywho, whoa, I just went through puberty. Ooh, coughing again. Gotta stop smoking. Anywho, don't forget to smash that MF like, subscribe, follow, notifications, hearts, comments, stars, horseshoes, clovers, and blue moons. Because I really appreciate you guys listening to me. I really do. I say that every time. I'm a very humble person. But yeah, do all that stuff for me. Go ahead, do it. Go ahead and do it. You like. Anyways, it's been a wonderful Monday. I hope you guys survived it okay. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Okay, it's another step in the journey towards the end of the week. Even though I'm not off till next fucking Monday because thanks, job. Anywho, today was Monday. You survived. Congratulations. Tuesday, first day of the rest of your life. Enjoy while you can. Bye-bye.